Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, dogs and cats, elephants and zebras, gypsies and the she. Oh boy. It is in the 90s here. We own two air conditioners, but only one of them works. We bought them used at a local store last year. And they worked last year, but we did buy them used, so, you know. We're going to have to buy another one. We have one in the bedroom, which helps. But, I have a fan in the window there. I have a fan going right here. Yeah, we have a fan in the bedroom and a fan in the living room. Hey, Boo. So, this morning I went fishing. Caught exactly 0. Although I almost caught a box turtle. He did fight the bait. But when I started to pull his head out of the water, he let go. So, hey Boo, after that I took a drive, but it's just hot and it's humid. That's the thing about it up here, is the summertime is hot and humid, and the wintertime is cold and dry. I didn't understand the whole cold and dry thing before moving here. I figured if there's so much snow and ice, then it's got to be humid, right? Because snow and ice are made of water, right? Well, the reason it's dry is because it all freezes up. So it's not in the air, it's on the ground. And yeah, you fall in it and you get wet gloves, wet clothes, and then you find out what it's like to really be cold. Especially when the snow is deeper than you are tall. So, you know, when I was younger, this would not have bothered me. It did not bother me. Jeez, I was in Texas, high school. You know, it's 110 degrees, 115 degrees. I'm wearing blue jeans, a shirt, a button-up shirt with a t-shirt underneath, not a dress shirt. I was a kicker, a redneck, so I dressed a certain way. And then I would go to welding class, and I'd put these leathers on. In an unair-conditioned building, a metal building, not D but T, metal building. I think we had one industrial fan in the welding area. And we did have like a garage door that we could put up, but it was, you're welding. It is hot. So the leathers on top of the clothes I already had on, it was hot. And the arc welding stations, there were 2 of them, they were behind these 2 thick, dark plastic curtains. And so it was hot. Could I do that today? I don't think so. I'd probably have a heart attack. Well, I have had a heart attack. I've had more than one, so. But, I probably would have a heart attack I couldn't survive if I was in that again. But it was, that part of Texas is very humid. There are parts of Texas that are humid, parts of Texas that are dry. And I didn't realize until a few weeks ago, if you look at a map of Texas, Texas has several of like the top 15 and top 20 largest cities in the country. and then you have the metroplexes: Houston, Galveston, Sugar Land, going all the way down to Victoria. And I don't know how far north. You know, I mean, I remember when a drive from Houston to Galveston was on back roads. Okay, or it may have been the freeway, but what they called the freeway 40, 45 years ago and what they call a freeway today are not the same thing. Or a highway, I should say. Well, now it's a freeway. Back then, I remember taking back roads to get to Galveston. And you had the old Burma Shave signs. Well, they weren't Burma Shave signs, but they were that type of sign. And they were interesting. And but then you have Dallas, Fort Worth, Arlington, Mineral Wells. Well, what's the name of that one city between Fort Worth and Mineral Wells? I don't remember. And then you have all the towns and cities around there. And then you go south again, and you go to Waco, and you get to Austin. And now Austin, San Antonio is like, could be almost one big city there. All the little municipalities around there have grown. Then you have Amarillo, El Paso, Corpus. In the valley you have big cities, and Abilene, Midland, Odessa. I've been to Midland, not been to Odessa, I've not been to El Paso, I have been to Amarillo. Hey Socks. That's some of the kitties. So I think, you know, because frankly there are good people in Texas, but there are too many big cities. That means there are too many people, and it's too freaking hot. Right now, I would not mind being in the Northwest Territories, or the Northern Yukon, or Central or Northern Alaska. Now my wife in there, she's like, no way in hell I'm moving to Alaska. But right now, I'd like to be there. I cannot believe that this kind of weather actually bothers me after, oh geez, 40 years in Texas. And I don't care what part of Texas you're in, it's freaking hot. Okay? I mean, I've been to the valley, I've been to the coast, I've been to North Texas, I've been to the Panhandle, I've been to West Texas. I've been to every single part of that state. Now, the hill country is nice, and the piney woods are nice, and the southern plains are nice. I really like the piney woods. Reminds me a lot of British Columbia and a lot of New Hampshire. Mineral Wells was nice, but one reason I like Mineral Wells because I liked the people there. They were good people. But you know, the thing is, up here I found even more good people. I actually saw our police chief this morning, just driving down the road, and you know, I know our officers, they know us, you know, and they're good cops, you know, they're not, I don't know, I mean, I came across good cops in Texas too, and I came across some real SOBs as well. I mean, and I think, you know, but you have to look at San Antonio. I remember when San Antonio had 500,000 people. Now it's 1.5 million. To me, back in those days, San Antonio was the most racially integrated community because I saw blacks, Hispanics, whites, Asians dating each other. Nobody seemed to care what ethnicity you were. Now it's not that way. Now it's very racist, and that's very sad. But you know, I've been all over the world, and I've seen racism coming and going and everything else. So, but you know, it's the sun's going down now. Oh goodness! This coming week, we plan on going to a ball game. They have 3 seating areas. I actually found a really cool website. I'd have to see if I could find it again. They go around to small town ballparks, and they were talking about the ballpark in Keene, because the ballpark in Keene, it's part of the high school, but it's also used by the Keene Swamp Bats, which is a summer collegiate Keene club league. And from what I could find out, they actually do pretty darn well. I believe the coach is a former major leaguer, but they're only around for like 2 months, month and a half, 2 months. That's as long as the summer league lasts. It's a collegiate summer league, so they're college kids, but it's like the Northeast region or whatever. But they bring these kiddos in from all over the country, the best of the best, to play here during the summer. And it turns out that college and major league recruiters go to these games to see what their prospects are. But you know, and when I read that, I was like, oh wow, well this is going to be a pretty good match, or pretty good game. So the thing is, they have 3 seating areas. There's the covered area, which I don't really want to sit at unless it's raining. Then there's the area behind home plate. I don't really want to sit there. And then there's the area over to the other side by third base. People take their own chairs. From what I was reading, people take their chairs hours and hours before the game, and they set them up. They have a place. Nobody messes with them. So when it's game time, everybody goes back, you know, and sits in their spot. The thing is, you can buy these newfangled like umbrellas, but they're big, and you'll either keep the sun off of you or keep the rain off of you. So it rains a lot up here. So, you know, which also makes it more humid, but it also makes it very green, which I happen to like. Makes it green. It's hard being green. That's what Kermit said, right? So anyway, we're both hungry, but it's just too hot to do anything. And I've been tired all day. I went fishing. Did not lose my lure this time, but I did lose a couple of hooks and a sinker. Well, while I was walking up looking for a new place to fish, because I wanted a new place to fish. There was this girl. She was walking back, and she had her dog, and she had her pipe with her. And I don't mean like a tobacco pipe, you know, but pipe. And I said, she said something to me, and I said, "Will you catch anything?" She said, "Yeah, I caught a sunfish." Well, and nobody up here talks like my wife and I talk. She's from the south, so we talk differently. Ain't got nothing going on down here. No. What y'all doing over across the holler? Across the what? The holler. The what? The holler. You don't know what no holler is? And I ain't don't know what no holler is. Going up to them there hills. Some southern, awful southern slang for you. So, but, you know, I was hopeful when she said I caught myself a sunfish, so I was hopeful, but all I did was almost catch a turtle. There was somebody out there swimming, and there was somebody in a kayak, and there were several people swimming. It's that kind of day, really. Really is that kind of a day. But I found a swing rope at the pond, so that's kind of cool. Looks like it's been there a while. But you get down there by the water and it feels even more humid because you're right there by the water, where you know. So and this one pond, it's separated by the rail trail over to one side. Not stagnant, but it looks like it should be stagnant. But then on the other side is where the main pond is. I think the other pond actually has a different name, but I'm not sure. I've never walked that far down there before. But there weren't a whole lot of folks down there. There were like 3 cars when I went down there, and there were 2 or 3 when I came back. Oh, that's John. John, you want to say hi? John, tell everybody what we have in the neighborhood. We have a bunny rabbit, a little cottontail, a little brown cottontail. I take Lucky out, or I take the garbage out, whatever, and he's so used to me that I can get within like 3 feet of him. And he keeps an eye on me, but he'll stop and get something, you know, chew on some grass, you know, and then, you know, get something to eat in his mouth. And kind of cute the way they, and he'll look at me and he'll watch me, and if he thinks I'm moving too fast or threatening or whatever, getting too close, so he doesn't really hop fast. He just kind of, you know, just moves over. He's not afraid of Lucky. Although the other day, I was walking Lucky. There was this here cat, that the coloration of John. The cat lives around here. And I was out there with Lucky, and John was in my arms, and the rabbit was there. Cat ignored the rabbit. Cat ignored John. But he saw Lucky's. You know how cats will get down, like they're going to pounce, and he'd start creeping up, like he's going to hunt Lucky. I'm like, excuse me, no you're not. But Lucky's miserable, the wife's miserable, the cats are miserable, we're all just hot and humid, hot and humid, hot and humid. Now last year there were 4 or 5, 6, 7 of those bunnies. This year there's only Una. And on that I did see Una when I took a drive today. She's a lady that my late wife and I met, I guess. We didn't really know her. We would say hi to her and stuff. She's a real sweet lady. But she's, I guess, a homeless person in Keene. And or she must have a place to live. She's always clean and has clean clothes on. But she's a real sweet person. But always keeps her head shaved bald. or with very little hair. But anyway, one of the nice things about New Hampshire, there are plenty of trees, so there's always shade. There's this here place when I was in Victoria, before they built Clutter Creek Dam and Reservoir. We used to go hiking way back up in there. And it used to be farmland back there. There's this old oak tree, huge oak tree, must have been 200-300 years old. I mean, huge. Used to love just sitting under it. So cool. It's underwater now. Don't know what's left of it, but it's underwater. Been underwater for 30-40 years. Anyway, that reminds me, I'm going to make a video eventually about old A-Leaf. Somebody once said they like to hear about the way A-Leaf used to be, and it used to be a real nice little town. Anyway, hot and humid.